I have a question. So you're big into cars.
Yeah.
Me too as well. Can you tell the audience how important having a nice car is for networking, brotherhood, community?
Yeah, a lot of guys think that you buy a nice car because you got a little dick or something like that, right? It's like, no, dude, you don't understand. The concept of having a nice car opens doors because it allows you to go to rooms that you don't have access to. Like, you can't go out driving a 20-year-old busted-ass Honda Civic, you know, and show up.
That's exactly what I got.
You can't go into, like, you know, exotic car clubs with Ferraris and Lambos and McLarens and Porsches and stuff like that, and guys will accept you, right? Like, guys like that will come to be like, hey, you know, like, what do you do for a living, sort of thing, and they'll have those sorts of conversations. You talk to them, you're nice, and they sit in the car and they rev it. And you know, it's like interesting that way, but they're not going to take you seriously. They're not going to invite you to go out for a rally. They're not going to have dinner with you. They're not going to do business with you, right? Like, it opens doors. Like, it gives you opportunities to hang out with people that you don't necessarily hang out with. And if you like fast cars, buy a fast car and use it as a networking tool. It's really more than anything for me, like a networking tool, but it's fun as well, right? So I don't care about the, you know, oh, it's going to depreciate. You're wasting your money. You're an idiot. It's not a problem.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing, you can make that money back. Especially, you know, especially like with cars like Lamborghinis and Ferraris that have exclusive clubs where you have to own one of these cars to be in there.
Yeah,
and that in itself opens you up to high net worth individuals, which could pay for itself if you know what you're doing.
Exactly.
So,
well said.
You know, getting doors open is very important. And yes, I do have an old Honda, guys. But
I mean,
that doesn't refute the fact that, like, having a nice car. I remember famously, I remember when Andrew bought his Bugatti.
Yeah.
And he came and did our podcast like right after he got it. And he was saying, you know, the reason why I spent $5 million on the car wasn't for the fucking car. It was because of the doors that opened up for me to be able to make that money back and then some, because it's a very exclusive club of people that have Bugattis. And he just wanted access to those individuals. That's why he bought it. And
yeah, it keeps going up. It's like, you know, $500,000 car, $5 million car. Yep. Oh, you got a jet. Now you're in a new club. You got a yacht. Oh, that's a different club, right? Yeah. You have access to different people.
So I remember when I bought the SVJ, I met a guy in Fort Lauderdale, and he was here during the and a group of friends and himself came together and made a plan how to make money. And they all had cars together. But no, back then I didn't have a car, of course. You know, it's just coming up. But if I had known them back then, I missed out on $10 million just for not being in that group.
Yeah.
But because they all had cars together, they say, let's have dinner together, let's talk about business, and they came together during COVID to make this like big plan for business, and it worked really well.
Yeah, a lot of guys discount the value of putting money into things that, one, you're interested into, and two, that unlock stores. Like watches too are another big thing for guys. Like, I'm not a watch guy, but I see guys that are like, oh, you know, I got this whatever watch and it's worth $400,000.
Watches
like,
are my thing.
Yeah, like you can sit
I got
there
a couple Rolexes and APs.
Talk for like ever about the watch, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, whatever your thing happens to be, if you like it, then go chase that. Like, chase excellence, not women, is what I'm always saying, right? And then put yourself in rooms where there's other people that have similar interests, do some business with them, hang out with them, you know. And, you know, as a byproduct of that, there just happens to be hot women around.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know, they seem to like money for some reason. Shocking, right?
Yeah. I like watches because watches hold value. I got a couple Rolexes and an AP, and I like that they hold value. They're good talking. It filters out a lot of idiots because if you even know about this watch or you're a collector, then it automatically puts you in a certain tax bracket. But yeah, I agree the car thing is huge because they especially if you get like a Lambo or Ferrari, you automatically are involved in certain, you get access to clubs, right? Which is huge because what I've noticed when you're with people that are successful, a lot of the times the barrier to entry is so high that just by you entering, they embrace you.
Yeah.
Like they're way more friendlier, they're way more open to certain things. Oh, I know a guy that does this. So if you say, if you're a regular guy and say, well, I have this problem, they don't give a fuck. But if you have this problem and you're in that club, then it's, hey, I know a guy that actually solves that. I know a guy that does this. So I don't think people understand, especially for men, right? Because we don't really get help unless we provide value. Like no one gives a fuck about you unless you're providing value. So if you're able to get a nice watch or a nice car or whatever it may be, they know that you solved other people's problems, so they respect you as a peer and they want to help you.
And more often than not, someone that has a lot of network, you may not know all his network, you know, by yourself, but if you know the person knows the network, then by default, that's your network as well.
Yeah.
So it works in tandem.
It works out.